What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Davey Deathray here with my guy, Matt Facci, who is streaming on his channel as well. So I guess, I don't know, maybe we need to pass back the intros month to month when we do this, Matt. What do you think?
I don't know. That is kind of weird. That is kind of weird. We're doing like double duty over here. But
yeah, no, it's great though. What's really cool is it just it gives both of our channels a little bit of that attention. Maybe, I know we've got overlap in the folks that like to watch us, but maybe there's some folks, that haven't found their way over here, and hopefully vice versa. If not right now, maybe in the future. Welcome everyone to Start Bench Cut. Now, for those of you that are asking yourselves, like, what the hell, what does that mean? What's start, bench, cut? I don't like sports. Why are you talking to me about sports? Well, it's basically like a PG version of fuck, marry, kill, right? I don't know what it is. I don't know if you feel this way, Matt. I feel kind of dirty talking fuck, marry, kill. And I'm like, I like to joke dirty. I'm one of those guys. Like, I have a filthy mouth. But sometimes reducing things just to those categories, I like start, bench, cut. It feels nice.
A little more, PG.
There you go. So yeah, this is where we pit, three like subjects or topics against one another. And simply put, it's just ranking them 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And so this kind of started, like, I watch sports shows. I'm sure you do. I know you're a big football fan. Yep. So I've seen stuff like this on those sports morning talk shows, but they're literally just talking about, guys that play football or whatever. So I thought it would be fun to bring it sort of into our nerdy world of, I mean, pretty much whatever, but we're big horror movie fans, big film fans. So what was it, a couple months ago, month and a half ago on your stream, I just started throwing out a whole bunch of start bench cuts, and it seems like people sort of dug it a little bit. So that was cool. And yeah, guys, the show is made better if you guys throw in your own items that you want to see run through the start, bench, cut, and then you guys can get involved with each other and you can get involved with ours. Matt and I are going to kind of go back and forth with some, and we don't know, we haven't shared these with each other, so we haven't had chances, a chance to think about it yet. So this should be pretty fun. I'll stop talking so you can say what's up, Matt.
What's going on, everybody? Yep, it's gonna be the first episode. Hope working out the kinks. Is it gonna be perfect? Hell no. Hell no, it's not going to be perfect. But that's what we're here for, to have a good time and fuck some shit up. Brooke, no, this is not a sports stream, so you don't got to worry about that. I mean, sports, maybe if somebody drops it in there, we're going to have to answer it, because
it would be fun.
Want, but
yes. Yeah,
but
it would be fun to work that in.
No. If Davey has a topic, I'll have to answer it, but if not, no, we'll be talking movies, whatever comes up, we'll answer it. And then, like Davey said, if you drop stuff in the chat, it definitely makes it more fun, more interactive. So feel free. Tonight, me and Davey tossed it back and forth. We weren't too sure what to start with. Being that it is summertime, we figured, why not talk about summer creature features, summer horror movies? I mean, maybe Davey got some summer movies in general. I don't know what he got over there, and he don't know what I got on my list. But we're going to dive in, and we're going to have some good times. Gavin, I don't know if the sexual tension is crazy or not, because we'll have to see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go. I know, me too. I always get nervous on live streams. Let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. You've been doing a great job so far, but I'll pop some of these up on here since we're running through my StreamYard. I wish they would let people share controls, because that would be great. But we got Antonis in the chat. What's happening, Antonis? Great to see you. Raymond Malaber. Hey, Davey and Matt, this is going to be fun. Oh, yeah. Especially, you guys can make it even more fun. What's up, Rosie? Rose! So great to see you in here, Rose. Love it. Big Rod is has been a contributor to Start Bench Cut for Late Night with the Davey before. Maybe he's got some items he can throw our way here. We got Gene Whitacombe. What's happening, Gene? And of course, Brooke, as you said before. Welcome, Brooke. Yeah, no sports chat here, at least not until football season starts. Then we might have to get into it for sure. So we'll see. It'll be fun. At some point, we'll find out that some of you are sports fans. All right, Ashton Luck. in the chat. And Mud Nelson, yes, the sexual tension is yep, feeling it. I am feeling it. We got Bronson Right Wolf. Doing great, Bronson. How about yourself? Hope everything is going well for you. Tyler Adams in the chat. Love it. Zodiac, what's happening, man? Great to see you in here. Always interacting on the Dave McCrae and Slaughtered Lamb chats. Ryan Olashow. All right. And Eli Cortez, my guy Eli. I got to give him a shout out really quick before we get going. The other day, yesterday, man, the days just all run together, Matt. I don't know if that's how it is for you. I'd imagine it is, being a family man, especially. But Eli yesterday was like, hey, do you have a copy of Halloween Ends Steelbook? And I was like, no, I don't. I only have the 2018 on Steelbook. And Eli was like, I have an extra copy. What's your address? I'll send it to you. And the guy already put it in the mail. That's amazing. That's motivation right there. Nice. So really looking forward to that, and can't wait to put together a little vid there once we get that one. So much sexiness, says Brother Fluff. All right, guys. So yeah, you can pretty much tell from the little ticker running down below what the show is all about if you missed the intro. This is going to be really fun. And again, even more fun if you guys throw in some of your own suggestions out in the chat. I'll do my best to keep up and star those so we can hit them up. But let's go ahead and get going. Unless you've got anything else we need to touch base on here, Matt. You all right?
I'm good,
all right.
Man.
Do you want to go first?
I can go first. I can go. All right. Being that it is summertime, being that you have been going through your Jaws watch-alongs with Kate, I think this is a suitable one to start off with. So, the very first one on Start Bench Cut, I'm going to go with Jaws 3D, The Meg, and Piranha 3D.
Ooh, that's a good one. You know what? I have not seen either of the new Piranha movies, or they're not even new anymore. That's how old I am that they're not even new. I looked around for them. I totally missed them. But I really do want to see them. I'm familiar with the first two Piranha movies from back in the 80s. I would say, oh man, I'd rather watch The Meg than watch Jaws. I mean, what is Jaws 3 going to give me? At least The Meg is wild, and The Meg is like, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of those like Roland Emmerich disaster movies, you know, like kind of reminds me of that Godzilla 98 or like Independence Day, where it's, you know, you have this cast of like 15 people. They all have like their unique personality traits. So everyone in the audience has like the one character that they're like, I'm that guy. And so The Meg definitely did that for me. I mean, good, cheesy fun, right? It's not like top tier filmmaking, but Jaws 3D, I mean, only if you're going in it to make fun of it would I prefer that to The Meg. So here we go. Because I haven't seen Piranha 3D, you know, I'll start The Meg. I will, you know what? I'll go ahead and bench Piranha 3D because I'm sure it's better than Jaws 3D, which I would cut. The worst of the franchise. Yeah. Why?
Okay.
Wait, is Piranha 3D that bad? I don't know. The chat needs to let me know. Is Piranha 3D really that bad?
No. Piranha 3D is fun. Piranha 3D is very fun. Very fun. This is tough for me because I'm a huge fan of Jaws 3D. I really, really am. I don't know why. I love the SeaWorld aesthetic up to it. I love I love Dennis Quaid. You know, I love it. It is kind of boring.
Dennis Quaid.
Yes. It is kind of boring at times. Piranha 3D is great though. There's a lot of nudity, which is a plus.
Yeah.
A guy gets his dick bit off, so that's hilarious.
Wow.
Fuck. The Meg, it does Jason Statham in it, so that's always great. Yeah. Damn it.
I love in The Meg that they're like, he lost his whole entire family, and also like he lost his company, and like one of his best friends died. Like everything bad happened to this guy, and now there's this giant shark. Like, you know, it's hilarious. Like the contrivance of it is amazing. It's beautiful.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna start Piranha 3D. I'm
mm.
gonna I'm gonna bench Jaws 3D, and I'm gonna cut the Meg.
Oh, damn. All right. Okay. So I guess I guess I went the wrong way. I need to watch Piranha 3D and update everyone. I know everyone will be waiting for my tweet. All 400 followers I have on Twitter will be like, "What did Davey think of Piranha 3?" Or is it 3 double D, right? Is that what it is?
No, there's
Or is
there's
that
there's Piranha 3D, and then there is Piranha 3 Double D.
that's the
Piranha 3
sequel.
Double D is
Mhm.
not very good. Not very good.
Oh, gotcha. So a guy gets his dick bit off. So Piranha 3D and the original Last House on the Left have something like very much in common.
Yes.
You know, they
Except for
share
one.
that one. They're totally different, but they share commonality there.
Yes. One's by a fish and one's by a woman. So,
Man,
you
that
know.
movie, that was a rough one. I had to like mentally prepare myself to watch Last House on the Left. All right, so Brother Fluff says start Meg, bench Piranha, cut Jaws 3D, and then yeah, Raymond threw out there start Jaws 3D, bench the Meg, cut Piranha 3D. I love all of them, and that's the cool thing too. Raymond is like,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean we think the cut one is like garbage. It should be tough, right?
Yeah.
But
We just
it
have
would be
to.
cool. Maybe at some point we can do one where we purposely pick things that we think are all trash and just see like how trashy we think
Of
each
course.
one is.
Mhm.
All right, excellent. Let's see if we got anyone else. Yeah, Zodiac brings up Dwight from The Office. Yes, he's in the Meg. Yeah,
He's in it.
yeah, playing like a Mark Zuckerberg version of Dwight, like an
Mhm.
actual like yeah. And we got Vanderhoff jumping in here. I've seen a
Hey.
couple other folks jump in. So, yeah, I wanted to say hi. Adrian James is in the chat.
What's up,
And
Adrian?
I think I saw who else did I miss? Medley Man, one of our Patreon members here at the Davey Deathray channel. All right.
What's up, man?
So, okay, cool. So we did Jaws 3D, the Meg, and Piranha 3D. I've got so yeah, you were mentioned like maybe a summertime kind of thing. And because we just celebrated the 35th anniversary of Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton, I thought it would be fun to do like so my first start bench cut is Batman, like first Batman films in a run. So I've got Batman 89, Batman Begins, and the
Oh.
Batman start bench cut. I think all of these are really good.
Okay.
We need the Jeopardy music. Can we get the Jeopardy? Is that or some
Okay.
sort of like clock ticking? Yeah.
Batman 89 is classic.
Yeah.
Obviously. We got the Keats.
Mm-hmm.
Got one of the best Jokers ever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We got Prince music throughout, which is
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Just saying.
Hot as all get out, Kim Basinger.
Yeah. You got Batman Begins, which, in my opinion, is my least favorite of that trilogy. However, it is good.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
good, but it's my least favorite. And this may be a hot take, but the Batman, I was not a fan. So
Oh,
it was extremely
interesting.
too
Okay.
long. Extremely too long. Even though it's probably not
Mm-hmm.
much longer than Batman Begins, honestly, but to me it seemed very long.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh not I don't have anything against Robert Pattinson. He was fine. I have nothing
Yeah.
against him. It's Batman. It just was a little boring for me personally. So yes, I'm sorry. I'm not I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm gonna start Batman 89, bench Batman Begins, cut the Batman.
All right. Right in that order. Okay.
Right in the order.
Yeah, and then Tyler jumped in. Start 89, bench the Batman, cut begins. And I think that's the way I would roll, Tyler. I think I would do the same thing there. I totally hear you, Matt. Like the Batman, I loved it so much, but I do wish it were either a two-parter or just cut some
So
out of it.
beautiful. It's the best. 89,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh my God. I mean, we can talk about that for a second too. That'll be, one of the cool things about the show here is we can kind of hit on some things. I mean, you know, to put out a comic book movie in 89 when it certainly wasn't fashionable and it didn't really pop off. Like I think people might, forget that like Batman was really the only comic book movie at that time, And for Tim Burton to bring in that really cool Art Deco, like rusty look, like that really gritty comic book look. I mean, a lot of people were worried it was going to be comical because of Michael Keaton, but I thought he was great in the role and really unassuming. You don't think that version of Bruce Wayne would be Batman, right?
Yeah.
And of course, like you had mentioned with Jack Nicholson, I still think
fantastic.
I think a lot of people look back on Nicholson's Joker and they think he was like really comical, but I think it's a little bit of a Mandela effect that if you go back and watch that movie, like he straight up kills like a head mobster in front of all the other mob families with a buzzer that electrocutes him to a crisp. Like he kills the other boss like right in front of City Hall, just stabs him in the neck. Like he gasses Gotham City after dropping money on them. Like I think people, Heath Ledger's Joker is great and it's a totally unique performance. But I think when people look at Jack Nicholson, they think, oh, he was just funny. And it's like, no, he was a stone cold killer. You could even say that the Heath Ledger Joker doesn't kill any innocent person in that entire movie. Everybody they kill is a criminal, and then they make other people kill people. So Heath Ledger's Joker is kind of a hero. Like, he's kind of like the Punisher, right? I mean, I
guess
it's great. It's something that occurred to me when I watched that movie. I was like, he doesn't kill anyone that's not a bad guy. The only people that Joker kills in that movie are bad guys. Like it's like one of those things where I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. He kills all the guys in the bank heist at the beginning. Yeah. He slams the one gangster like on the pen, makes the pencil disappear. That's a bad guy. He lights all the money on fire. The dude is like punk as fuck, right? They even say they can't find where his clothes are made, so he makes his own clothes. So he's like DIY to a T.
He's a tailor, baby.
Yeah, he is. So when the Joker's not plotting schemes, like I just want a side movie where it's Heath Ledger's Joker just like, pushing his foot down on a sewing machine. Yeah, that one was fun, man. These those movies, I love all of these movies. That's a difficult one, but yeah, for me it's 89, The Batman, and Batman Begins. Oh my gosh, and we've got Garrett from Born to Be Rad and the Rad Pack in the chat. What's happening, Garrett? Great to see you. You came at the perfect time as we were talking about Batman 89 because I know you're a big fan of that film as well. We also got Chad in the chat. What's happening, Chud's Corner? Let's see. Anyone else pop one? Oh my God, Mel is in the chat. What's happening, Mel? Tag I am it. There you go. Everyone's saying what's up to each other. Love to see it.
Herbert,
guys. Yeah, and then we got a De Jesus custom footwear. Holy cow! I need some Vans. Hook me up. I'll take some Halloween Vans. What about you, Facci?
Yeah. I'll take Halloween anything. It's almost that time. I mean, I'm starting to get back in the mood for Halloween, just saying.
Oh my gosh.
It's getting there.
It is. Even though it's 1:15 out here in Phoenix, I want Halloween so bad. And then we got Maxwell King in the chat as well. What's happening, Maxwell? And
it's a good temperature here.
Yeah.
It's 69 here, my friend. So
for real,
doesn't get better than that. Just saying.
That's just beautiful.
Saying. Kinky shit here, my friend.
I thought the East Coast was all like muggy and warm, all that kind of stuff. But it seems like you got some really nice weather where you're at. You're off you're not on the coast, right?
No. Well,
a few hours away.
It rained today, so which we really needed. So it kind of cooled it down a little bit today, but I think tomorrow it's supposed to go back up to the upper 80s, so it'll be hot tomorrow, hotter. I mean, not as hot as you, obviously, but hotter.
Yeah.
Can't be that
not as hot as me or not as hot as Phoenix. I don't know.
No, well, we're not here to talk about that today. No, not in front of everybody. You know what I mean? We'll save that for off the air.
Yep. As soon as the end stream button gets hit, it gets nasty.
Yeah,
all right.
Then it gets gross. We're not going to share that with you guys. Not for free. Hit that super chat button and we'll share. I'm just kidding.
I don't even have. Yeah, you have super chats unlocked. I
I
don't
do.
think I
But if
do.
you guys want to see gross
Yeah, there
shit,
you
just
go.
go ahead and do that. We'll see how gross. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Um, all right. So, okay, we'll see what the next one I got on here. This is good. Okay. We talked about Halloween, but I'm gonna toss out a Friday the 13th one here. This was gonna be tough.
Yeah.
This was gonna be tough. Everybody loves these movies, I think, for the most part. All right. We're gonna go Friday the 13th Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 3, and Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Start,
Oh.
bench, cut. I want to see this one.
Gosh, this one. Okay, so start the final chapter. I think it's arguably, Jason Lives is my favorite in the series, but the final chapter used to be my favorite, and I couldn't hate on anyone for loving that movie. It's the quintessential slasher. It's got so much. I feel like it was the first time like you hear Jason like grunting, just like Ted White's portrayal of Jason there is just really brutal. Love the Joseph Zito direction, of course. I'm a big fan of the Prowler. So I feel like the final chapter, he took everything up a couple notches, actually. So I would go final chapter. I'd start final chapter. I would bench part 2, and I would cut Friday the 13th part 3 in 3D.
How could you do that to me?
I don't know. You know what? So my whole thing with part 3, like there are, I love like especially the first like 4 movies. I really love all those movies, but part 3, some of the 3D effects, similar to Jaws 3D, which we just talked about, they really date the film. And then I think, and I know this is like a hot take, people are not going to like this, I don't really like Chris as a final girl. I don't think the performance is very good here. And I don't know if I even like her as a character. She asks this guy, this friggin', this built dude to come hang out with her. She doesn't want to give him any sugar. And then when he's like, "What's up? Where's the sugar?" She acts all weird about it, And then, yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna go start final chapter. I'll bench part 2 and I'll cut part 3. Yeah. Thanks for coming out, but not really. She's just a tease. I've experienced too much of that in my life. So, miss me with that. What about you, Matt?
I passed up the weekend with the Mary Jo Conrad for this, Chris.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna give you any. Bitch.
He's basically saying, like, I gave up free BJs and now you're doing this. What's going on?
Yeah. I gave up sex to come out here and fucking mess with hay for the weekend.
Yeah, and then your friends smash up my VW Beetle, great. Thank you for that.
I don't have car insurance either, so thanks, appreciate it.
And then you're gonna tell me this weird story about like falling asleep in the woods without a tent or a sleeping bag and getting attacked by a monster man. Like, what is happening here? What is happening?
Why'd I come here again? Where's your friend Debbie at? What's she doing? I'm about to hook up with that bitch. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna go. Obviously, I'm starting Friday the 13th part 3, so we're gonna go ahead and get that off my chest right now.
Oh, damn! All right.
That's my favorite in the franchise, so we're gonna go ahead and start that son bitch, and then hot take. We're gonna go ahead and bench part 2, and we're gonna cut the final chapter.
Oh my goodness!
I said it right there.
That is hot take. We both have hot takes. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm not the biggest. I mean, I do. The final chapter is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love it, but when it comes to those 3, that's the one I'd pick last. I'd watch that one last.
And so what is it about the final chapter that is it something that like as time goes on, it just works less and less for you? Or is there something in particular? Like, is there a certain element where you're just like, I get bored by this point in the movie? I'm always interested to know because I have those feelings about movies that I used to love,
Well, when it comes to these 3 in particular, I was going to say, well, 2, it's obviously Ginny. I just love Ginny to death. And I love the camp atmosphere in part 2 more than anything in part 4. I love Sackhead Jason a shit ton. Part 3 for me, Richard Brooker's probably my favorite Jason out of all of them, so that is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And Chris is probably my favorite final girl out
Oh,
of all of
really?
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I watched 3 a lot growing up, probably more than any of the other ones, so that has a lot to do with it as well. In the final chapter, I don't really like Trish as much as a lot of other people do.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's has a little bit to do with it. I do love Corey Feldman, of course, but I mean, who doesn't? Well, maybe
Yeah.
not now, but back then, yeah.
He's an
I don't
interesting
know.
guy.
Yeah, he's very
Well,
interesting guy.
you bring up Trish, and I think that's a good topic for discussion because I know some folks, I know Cody Snyder, who's always hopping around all the horror channels. He's a huge Trish fan. And yeah, it seems like because Corey Feldman is sort of pulling some of the focus that a final girl would have, she's just sort of like a quarter of the way developed as a final
Yeah.
girl. She's
Mhm.
more like there to just like take care of Corey Feldman and then there to be, facilitate like Rob, who's trying to get, figure out who killed his sister. So it is,
Pretty
she
much.
does have to split up time like the way that, Ginny doesn't have to split up time that way. I guess maybe, yeah, Chris, I think that she's got more time than Trish. Yeah, that's an interesting one because there's certain movies that I used to love where I just start falling out of love with them. And I'm just like, what happened here? But you bring up a really good point of Richard Brooker. I mean, he is like those traps and just like how bizarre he looks. He does look otherworldly in part 3.
Nonchalant.
Oh my god, when he shoots what's her face with the crossbow. And then he just like, I want to almost like a Mystery Science Theater like talk over it where he's just like, yeah, I knew I was gonna hit that. He just like he just acts like it's no big deal, and then he looks up at the house like, what's next? Moving on, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, you dropped your wallet.
You did, yeah. And how about Shelley? I don't think Shelley gets enough love. He's the reason why Jason gets the mask,
Yeah, he's not as bad. I used to not like him at all, but he's really not that bad.
Yeah.
The character.
Brother Fluff says all people named Chris are idiots. That's the kind of sweeping statement I really like to hear. And Gavin's right there with you. 3 gets better every time I watch it. It'll never pass 5, but it's my second favorite of the franchise now. So yeah, I certainly do. I know Nick from the Lost River Drive-In is really big on part 3 as well, and he loves Chris. And so, that's the cool thing about the differing opinions and all that. Like, to me, like I'm just so fascinated, like knowing why, And then every time I watch those movies 2 or 3 times a year, Friday the 13th. Are you kidding? It's so easy to just put them on. So it's like every time I watch them, it's cool to sort of take that stuff, take stock of that as we go through. Yeah. And we got the Oct saying, what's up? How are you doing? He was saying 101 days till Halloween. Yeah, we were talking about that. We're already feeling the Halloween. And we got a Necromechanimal in the chat. Almost missed that one. Glad I didn't. Necro puts together some really cool custom made like thumbnail art on Instagram. He's been doing it for the watch alongs and they just crack me up, man. I don't know. I totally get a kick out of it. I love it. And I don't have to create it myself, so even better.
The best. Yeah,
exactly. And then we got Medley Man popping in. This wasn't an option, but he wants us to know that the remake is the best Friday film. I really enjoy the remake.
Up there for me.
I really dig it. Yeah. I think it's fun, and I think maybe it doesn't get as much love as it should.
I don't know why.
All right. Well, I've heard people whose opinions I really like trust and respect, like somebody like Vincent DeSanti. I've heard him talk about it, and he makes a couple valid points that I just completely look over because I enjoy what's there. So, that it doesn't really further the story. That's true. I mean, there's no way you can say it furthers the story. And then he talked about the music and how the music doesn't really fit. And I think that's fair too. I honestly didn't really notice the music because it didn't fit the franchise, but it seemed to kind of fit the film itself.
Yeah,
But yeah. I mean, I
I
think
like
that
the
movie's
music.
really fun. I think it's the most interesting Jason's ever been. He's like I always say it, he's like a spider and Camp Crystal Lake is his
I
web.
never thought about it like that until I listened to you talk about it. It's like a wolf spider pops up,
Yeah.
drag. Yeah,
Oh yeah. And it's like all he knows, right? He has enough mental capacity to know that that was the last place that he knew love and safety, and
Mhm.
anyone that comes in there has got to go, you
He
know?
doesn't kill anyone if you don't come on Crystal Lake, he's not going to kill you.
Yeah. That is the cool thing too. Yeah, he's like, it's only if you tread on his land. So he's like a hardcore he's a very right-wing American. He's like, if you come on my property, I'm gonna flick on the floodlights, I'm gonna start throwing canoes all over the place, I'm gonna steal your damn backpack, that's for sure. And
I
if
need that.
your sister or girlfriend looks like my mom, I'm gonna kidnap her. So just get ready for all of those things.
Fuck you.
All right, so we've gone through what, 1.5 rounds. I have got one that kind of fits into what we were talking about when we put this whole thing together. I've got a desert horror start bench cut for you.
Okay.
So we are gonna go Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, The Hills Have Eyes, the original, and From Dusk Till Dawn. Start bench cut.
Hey, Jamie. Well, I've only seen From Dusk Till Dawn. Well, I've only seen The Hills Have Eyes, the original, once, and I've only seen From Dusk Till Dawn once.
Oh, okay.
And From Dusk Till Dawn was, well, actually, they both were recent. Well, within the past couple of years. I'm definitely obviously From Dusk Till Dawn is just fun as hell.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like a comic book come to life, right?
Texas Chainsaw is a classic, but it's not a movie I could watch on the continuance. It's just rough. And I think The
Yeah.
Hills Have Eyes original is just an awful movie. I bought it. I just bought the Steelbook, but it's a fucking terrible movie. I hate it. The remake is way better, in my opinion.
Yeah. I love the mouths. I love the mouth sounds. They just like, we can't, when we don't have incidental music like the Jeopardy music, at least we have mouth sounds. Like,
like I said, I've only seen it once, but I think I'm gonna have to start From Dusk Till Dawn and bench Texas Chainsaw Massacre and cut The Hills Have Eyes.
And I'm right there with you, man.
Just based on fun.
We are on the same page. Yeah, I do. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is great. Like, I think it accomplishes everything that it sets out to do. It's a mood movie. Kind of have to like be feeling it. That's the only reason why I would bench it over From Dusk Till Dawn, because like you said, From Dusk Till Dawn's just so fun. It's just, it's got that, there's that sort of, there's that tone that certain movies hit, it's like Evil Dead 2 hits that sort of tone. Dead Alive hits the same kind of tone. From Dusk Till Dawn. You could even say something like Fright Night, where there's just this like horror movie, but a little more, it's bloody and all that, but there's something like bubblegummy about the whole thing. So yeah, I'm right there with you. From Dusk Till Dawn, Texas Chainsaw, and The Hills Have Eyes. And we got some responses here in the chat. So let's see what everybody says. And guys, don't forget to, of course, like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that notification bell. Bing! And put a little something in the chat if you want us to roll through some start bench cuts once we're done with our rounds. The idea here, as the show grows, is to just get more involvement from you guys out there in the chat. So let us know, and we'll work those into the end. And then let's see here. Gavin says start TCM, bench Dusk, cut Hills. I totally get that too. It really is just all about your flavor. Yeah. Raymond, start Dusk, bench Hills, cut TCM. All right. There we go. I love it. I love seeing people break from the pack. At TCM, Dusk Till Dawn, Hills Have Eyes. So Brooke and Gavin are right there with each other.
A lot of cutting in the hill.
Yeah. It's not getting much love, but you know what? I needed another desert movie. I know I said at the beginning of the show that these would be difficult. Some of them may not be as difficult as we would hope, but Medley Man says watch Start Hills, Bench Dusk, Cut Chainsaw.
Ooh, another one.
Jamie is Dusk, Texas Chainsaw, and Hills. Yeah. And Ashton's going backwards. Cut Chainsaw, Bench Hills, and Start from Dusk Till Dawn. Love it. Let's see. Am I missing any others? Looks like we've got everyone jumping in there. Big Rod says Start Hills Have Eyes, Bench TCM, and Cut Dusk Till Dawn. If I'm in the mood for a vampire western, I'm putting on John Carpenter's Vampires. All right. You know, I haven't seen that movie since like maybe a couple years after it came out. Have you seen that one recently?
I have not. I want to go back and
go
back and rewatch it. I listened to Cody Leach's review of it, and it definitely made me want to go back and rewatch it. So I definitely want to check it out.
James Woods is great, and yeah, I'm a big John Carpenter fan too. So yeah, it should be fun. Of course. And it'll be cool to see. The last time I saw it, I was in like high school, or you know, whenever that was that it came out. So
it's been a while.
Gavin says he's got a Start Bench Cut, but he knows that I haven't seen one. So yeah, I know, Gavin. You guys know me so well. You guys know about all my blind spots of movies I haven't seen. And then Avery, who I've never seen in the chat over here, looks like he's watching from your channel, Matt. That's great. And he says you cannot go wrong. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Texas Chainsaw either. I think it's for me a little bit of a mood film, but I do really love it.
Yeah. Not one to watch often, that's for sure.
And then Ashton says, I'm sure I'll have an angry group of TCM fans at my door later. That's great. Yeah, those movies, those desert movies, there's a whole bunch of them. There's even like we have The Hitcher coming out on 4K pretty soon, which
we do.
The Hitcher's never been restored or remastered. I think the only versions that I've seen out there are like it's like a 3:4 like TV cut. Like there's not even, I haven't even seen a widescreen version of it out there. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, being able to see that in HD.
I was going to say, I have it on like DVD. It's like an HBO DVD or something like that. I think I have.
Yeah. And it'll be really interesting. Like I paid to watch it, or I watched it on Tubi or rented it on YouTube or something like that. It was just so dark. It was difficult to see. It was my first time watching it. And I was sort of like, but then I was like, well, if I feel that way because the presentation wasn't great, I owe that movie another watch because I know it's so beloved, especially in the horror world. And I think the performances are great. So yeah. And we got Cody Faulkner in the chat from Wet Paint Pictures. Cody's working on a Crow fan film right now called Days of Sodom. If you guys have not checked it out, I recommend you check it out. If you're a fan of The Crow, especially if you're a fan of The Crow that's like kind of protective. I'm not one of those people. Like I'm kind of like whatever as far as the new one goes. I hope it's successful with the audience that it's trying to reach. But what's really cool about the Days of Sodom is it does have that kind of look and feel, that comic booky, like mid-90s feel, really moody with like they use a Deftones track in their trailer that just sort of feels like it's capturing that original Crow feel. And the Crow is not Eric Draven, so you don't have to get upset about all that. So yeah, guys, if you're a fan of fan films, you should definitely check out what they're doing over there at Wet Paint Pictures for sure. And
let me see. Did you happen to star? I saw there was a couple Start Bench Cut suggestions in the chat.
So sweet. Let me see here.
Star them. It was from Tyler and Medley Man.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Perfect. Okay, guys, I've starred those chats and we'll come back to them here at the end of the at the end of the rounds. All right. And yeah, let's see here. I think it's you are up next, Mr. Facci.
And I had sticking with the Friday, I had the good one, and now I gotta go to the bad one.
Oh, okay. I might like this one even better. All right, here we go.
This one probably is better. Okay, we got Jason Takes Manhattan. We got Jason Goes to Hell. and we got Jason X. Start,
Oh, okay.
bench, cut.
Oh, this one is tough. I love it. This is great. Ooh, man. Jason Takes Manhattan. And it's just part of that whole era in the 80s where they were just censoring so much of the gore. You know, I feel like a lot of the kills in Jason Takes Manhattan are pretty like quick cut kind of kills, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Jason Goes to Hell is like what's going on with the way Jason looks. It's kind of like a body swap movie instead of like a true Jason movie.
Uh-huh.
And while I obviously love The Evil Dead, I don't know if like Jason being a Deadite with the Book of the Dead, like those two things, I don't know if they really go well with each other. And then Jason X is like, what did this have the budget of like an episode of like Star Trek Next Generation? It looks so cheap. I know it was one of the first movies that was ever, it wasn't the first movie that was released that was filmed digitally, but I think it was one of the first movies that was filmed all digital. And I think that's the reason why it sort of has this clean, like not much depth to the look. It kind of looks flat. There's no grain. You know, sometimes I say this about 4Ks too. 4Ks and even some Blu-rays, when they don't do the transfer the right way or they don't go in there and like make the effects look right, like sometimes too much clarity is not a good thing. Like, you know, I don't know what it is. Something about it's like listening to a record on vinyl versus listening to it on Spotify. There's something nice about like the crackles and pops of the vinyl. And in a similar way, I think when you watch a movie, it's kind of nice to see some of the grain. So I am going to say, oh man, this is going to be like, I'm going to start Jason Goes to Hell. Even though the music drives me nuts, especially in the opening. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like really bad synthesizer, like a synthesizer that has the worst like MIDI program built in. But the effects on Jason Goes to Hell are great. I do really I like the side characters for the most part. Like the one guy, I can't remember his name. Is it Steven, the guy that wears the Letterman jacket? Yeah. He's like a nerd in a Letterman jacket. Great performance when he jumps over the, you know, his cuffed hands.
Yeah.
Like that right there probably makes it a start for me. So I'm going to start Jason Goes to Hell. I am going to bench Jason Takes Manhattan. And I am going to cut Jason X because I've said to Kate multiple times, I never need to watch that movie again. And then we put it on like the next Friday the 13th. Is that what you would do? Is that why you're clapping? What's up?
I'm not even going to give mine because you just said them, my friend.
Perfect. And we have 34 comments, so I know everyone's jumping in on these are great.
Because
Matt, you picked good ones, man.
I absolutely hate Jason X with a passion. I know people like it. I hate it very much.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's dumb fun. I don't have a good time with it at all. I don't care. I'd rather watch. I didn't like Jason Goes to Hell for the longest time, but I kind of just watch it as not a Friday the 13th movie, and then I like it a lot better.
Yeah,
it has good special effects, and you know, the story's goofy, but I don't know, it's entertaining.
And once you know more about it, like I mean, Sean Cunningham told what Adam Marcus basically like, these are the things I want from this movie. And Adam Marcus went and delivered on that, right? I mean, it's like he was like what 22 or 23 when he wrote and directed the movie. Yeah. Adam Marcus, never done anything before, just friends of Sean Cunningham's son, if I remember correctly. And I know that Sean wanted certain things to happen, so he did what the producer told him to do, you know. But yeah, I mean, it is Jason X, man. And it's not even like I don't hate all those movies that go into space. I know it's like now it's a joke. It's not even that element. It's just everything else with Jason X is just like, I don't know. Where is there one likable character that I can root for? Just one. Even the remake gives you a couple.
Maybe Brodsky. Is that his name? The like lieutenant, like the sergeant dude of like the space army guy.
Yeah, wasn't he in Resident Evil? the movie? Wasn't he in the first Resident Evil movie? He gets cut up into cubes. Is that him? Same guy?
I think he's about the only one. He was okay.
Jason kills a shitload of people in Jason X. I mean, that's
He
like,
does.
you know, David Cronenberg's in there at the beginning. Of course, the liquid nitrogen kill.
I mean,
Yes, it
that's
is.
good, but
It's one of the best moments in the franchise, but it's just a moment, right? There's so much more in there that's
one
just like,
kill
what the
can't
hell's
save the
going on?
movie.
Yep,
Sorry.
yeah. And Zodiac says, start goes to hell, bench X and cut Manhattan. Yeah. And he says goes to hell is 3 to 4 in the top 5 of his franchise ranking.
I don't have it that
More
high,
power
but
to you, man.
good.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've always been like, I always talk about liking movies that take chances and try something different.
Yeah.
That is Jason Goes to Hell for sure. And in a way, it's Jason X's does that
100.
also. Big Rod says start X, cut Jason Goes to Hell. Sorry, he must mean start X, bench Jason Goes to Hell, cut Jason Takes Vancouver. Jamie Hart, start X, bench Manhattan, cut Hell. All right. Raymond is jumping into start X, bench takes a boat, and cut goes to hell. This is great though. This is the kind of interaction we need. We got 23 people hanging out in the chat with us. That's pretty awesome. I would imagine most of you are subs of Matt's. So thank you so much for tuning in over on his channel. And if you're over here on the Davey Deathray channel, extra cheers to you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All that fun
Awesome
stuff.
people
And
around.
give Matt a super chat. Why not? Right?
No.
Okay, I see Gavin dropped another one, dropped a start bench cut, so I'm going to save that for later. Ashton says, cut Jason Takes Manhattan, bench goes to hell, start Jason X.
So much love.
Wow. Yeah.
So much love for Jason X.
You know what this proves, Matt? This proves that
We're
the
wrong.
folks that own the rights, the folks that own the rights to Friday the 13th, they just need to figure something out, right? Even if they don't hit a home run, they need to do something because we're all over the place as fans. You know, that's what this proves here. Because even Chad would start Manhattan, bench X, and get the fuck out of go to hell. Brooke would start Manhattan, bench X, cut hell. This is great. Literally all over the place. I love it. And we even got some more people jumping in. We got Felix James jumping in over off your channel. Matt, welcome, Felix. Great to see you. If you guys are watching after the fact, please drop us some start bench cuts, even in the comments. We'll save them for later, and you'll see them on the show, and we can even give you a shout out. So, yeah, just want to make sure we're not missing anyone else that has jumped in. I see Medley Man dropped one. Have you seen any other start bench cuts that I've missed here, Matt? I just want to make sure.
I see another one from Gavin. Did you get that one? Underrated 80s bangers.
I don't know if I saw. I got Battle of the Threequels was the last one I got from Gavin. Okay.
There's another, The Stepfather, My Bloody Valentine, and Dress to Kill.
Okay. There we go.
And then right underneath that one is
Gateway
Tyler.
Perfect. All right. Big Rod says, I like that Jason X looked like Super Shredder. Yeah. Friggin' Super Shredder. Oh, man. You know, it's funny. It's like I'm a big Ninja Turtle guy. Secret of the Ooze. Talk about a movie that just doesn't age well for me. You know, it's just so little kiddie. If I had kids, like, I would watch it every year. You know what I mean? But when you go back and you watch the original, the 1990 TMNT, it ages so well. Every time I go see it, I'm like, this movie hasn't aged a day. Every time I put it on, it's same with RoboCop. I'm like, these two movies look just as good as they did the year that they came out. And they don't seem to get old, like, with time, you know? So let's see here. You just hit up another round of Friday the 13th. And I have got, let me see here. Ooh, I've got a really fun one. I think somebody popped this one into a late night with the Davey episode when I had Our Life in Horror. I think it was Our Life in Horror jumped on. This is a creature feature remake start bench cut. So we are going with The Thing, The Fly, and The Blob. Creature feature remake, start, bench, cut. I know these are all really good.
I'm just gonna go in the order they are. Start The Thing, bench The Fly, cut The Blob.
There it is.
It's easy.
As easy as that.
That was an easy
one.
What
does everyone in the chat? I know, I'm like, this is going to be tough. And you're like, nope, there it is. You already laid it out. It's funny, like when you were on with Cody watching Sleepaway Camp last week, and I threw one out there where I was like, camp slashers. And I was like, Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th and The Burning or whatever. And Cody was like, I'm just going to do them just like you listed them there, Davey. Just like, boom, there it is. I'm like, oh, well, I handed him a layup. So I guess I made it a little easy on the guy.
Yeah, that one was easy. I like them. I mean, I like them all, but
yeah,
just the way they were.
They are all really good. And I think you're right. I think that order there, I mean, The Thing is arguably John Carpenter's best movie. I may like Halloween more as far as just like, just on a feeling. But if someone were to ask me, like, what's the best made John Carpenter movie, I'd probably say The Thing. Like, if I want to impress you with a John Carpenter movie, it's probably where I'm going to go. The acting is way better in The Thing. I mean, the special effects are batshit crazy. Yeah, Rob Bottin's work in that movie is absurd. And, it kind of, maybe it helps a little bit that it was filmed like on the ice fields behind my hometown of Juneau, Alaska. That's a pretty cool little factoid. Yeah. They would send a helicopter down to the city to get beer for the crew. That's like the most Alaska thing you could ever do is take a helicopter to go buy beer. Gavin says he would start The Blob, he would bench The Thing and cut The Fly. You know what? I don't even think you can go wrong here. Like I really don't.
Either way.
Because the Blob's the most fun out of all of them. It still is grotesque and shocking. It has great effects. Like fun. There are multiple deaths in The Blob that really took me by surprise. That I was like, damn, they just killed that guy. Yeah, Shawnee Smith is in there. She's great. Love her in Who's Harry Crumb. A lot of people love her from Saw. I think she's great in that as well. Big Rod would start The Thing, bench The Fly, cut The Blob. All right, so he's right there with us. Tyler would start The Fly, bench The Thing, cut The Blob. All right. The Fly is really good. A great modern tragedy. Start The Blob, bench The Thing, cut The Fly, says Raymond. And Herbert's like, I can't cut any of this. Like, what? You have to. Herbert, you have to. It's the one rule of being in on the stream. No, I'm just joking. You have to pick one. What does it say here? We find out who gets to shine, who rides the pine, and who gets snipped from the vine. I just made that up this morning, so it's true because it rhymes.
Cut it out. Get out of here. Little Full House for you.
Gavin says cutting The Blob is crazy talk. I know, dude. You know what? I think the deal is too, Gavin, is I've only seen that Blob like twice. I've seen The Thing and The Fly way more. So I bet you if we evened out how many times I'd seen every movie, maybe we would be having a different conversation. And is that Chuck Russell that directed The Blob? I think he did Dream Warriors. I think that's the same guy. Let me see. And I think Frank Darabont wrote the script for that Blob movie too. Yeah, before he was, Jamie would start The Thing, bench The Blob, cut The Fly. Yeah, they're really, you can't go wrong here. Yeah, Herbert, exactly. All three are so good. That's, when people say they're tired of remakes or remakes are never better than the original. Well, not in the early to mid 80s. Or I guess The Blob was 88. So, I mean, but still, that's like three great creature feature sci-fi remakes from like the 50s and 60s that they just knocked out of the park. Gavin's right with us. Cut The Blob, bench The Fly, start The Thing. All right.
Here we go.
Start The Thing, bench The Fly, cut The Blob. A lot of people are right with us on that one. Yeah.
Blob's cut.
Maybe what maybe what I need to do next time too is like jumble up the order that I put them in, so I don't like subconsciously put them in the order that I already like.
You want?
Because it's just whatever movies popping in my head or whatever topics pop in my head. But clearly, like now that I look at it, I'm like, oh, Davey, you're kind of tipping your hand
That's
a
what you
little
want
bit there. I'm trying to influence everybody. And Brooke would start the blob, bench the thing, and cut the fly. Thing is number one, no contest, says Trisha. Welcome, Trisha. She's one of our great Patreon members as well. Ooh, and Medley Man sounds like me here, where he says, I've only seen the thing. Yes, I'm ashamed of myself. That's how I feel all the time with all the movies that I haven't watched, Medley Man.
It's all good. I'm the same way.
Yeah. So what do you think, Matt? Do you want to do one more round and then we hit some of these that are suggested? I don't know, how you're looking on time. I know, guys, for this show, we were just sort of thinking about keeping it kind of short and sweet,
Let me see.
Not droning on
I was
forever.
gonna say we got 6. We got a bunch from the chat. So
do you just want to jump into the ones from the chat? We can do that.
Yeah, we might as well. We got a bunch from them. Yeah,
we can save ours. I just had one for barbecue or campfire food and walking sim horror, but we can save those for next time around. Guys, if you really enjoy the show, so Matt and I are planning, just because, the world of content creation, you find out like, you want to do so many things and then stuff starts really piling up along with all the regular kind of stuff you want to do as well. So, the original inception of this is we would just do it once a month. That way it's like, we can both go on with our lives. We can do collabs with other people, streams with other folks. If this is something you're really digging and you want more, let us know, share it with people, let us know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. So that way you can get just more of this. I love seeing everyone jumping into the comments with their suggestions. So yeah, we can jump into those. Yeah, you guys have been great. 22 people. We're sustaining the folks in the chat. I love it. Let's see here. There was one I almost missed. Looks like Zodiac's just answering to Blu-rays. Okay. Is Blu-ray Addict in here? Did I miss it?
Yes, he is.
Blu-ray Addict there. Yep. And dropped one of the start bench cuts we're about to cover here. I think there was one more video games. Okay. And yes, Gavin confirms Chuck Russell. Okay, cool. I think we're caught up here. I grabbed one from Rosie. Let's jump in and check these out. I see 9 here. So let's see how this goes. Tyler drops Horror Heads, Pumpkinhead, Pinhead, Rawhead Rex. I've never seen Rawhead Rex. I've watched reviews of it, but I've never seen it.
It's fine. It's okay. Start Pumpkinhead, bench Pinhead, cut Rawhead Rex. Just the way it is.
Yeah, Tyler, I think I'll go start Pinhead. I'll bench Pumpkinhead, and I'll cut Rawhead Rex. I've never seen it, so I don't feel, how could I got to put it last? But yeah, Pinhead. I mean, those first 2 Hellraiser movies, I know he's not in the first one very much.
Yeah.
Hardly at but he is on the cover.
He is. Not a lie.
And but man, that first Pumpkinhead movie, I really love that one too. That's a good one. All right. And we've got, let's see here. Medley Man drops Christmas movies: Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, Rocky 4. Why are you laughing? What's up?
Because I never seen Die Hard.
Oh,
that's
pretty incredible.
It's terrible, but I'm gonna start Rocky 4 because I absolutely love it. So
there you go.
Easy. So
Die Hard Rocky gets 4. Cut.
Yep, Die Hard's cut. I know it's like everybody's like favorite movie like ever, but I'm sorry, I gotta cut it. And bench Lethal Weapon because I've seen Lethal Weapon. So
yeah,
just saying.
I think I would do it in the order that you put it in there, Medley Man. I would go Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and then Rocky 4. I just haven't seen Rocky 4 since I was like a kid. So, really? Yeah, it's been like I've seen all of the movies at least once.
My favorite.
I haven't seen the Creed movies though, but I did really like the Rocky Balboa one that he put out, like that legacy sequel back in the earlier 2000s, early to mid aughts. Yeah, Lethal Weapon is great. And a lot of people don't talk about Lethal Weapon being a Christmas movie, but it absolutely is. Yeah, that one's a fun one. Tom Atkins, Tom the Stash Atkins.
We get it, chat. I haven't seen Die Hard. We get it.
Are they just popping off here? I'm like, I'm over in the starred category, so I'm missing everything.
Go tell Cody Leach that I haven't seen Die Hard. See what he has to say about that.
Avery's like, what? Stop the stream and put on Die Hard. All right, everybody, we're gonna do a watch along party for Die Hard.
I just watched Beverly Hills Cop for the first time. Leave me alone.
That one's really good. Yeah,
it was so good.
I thought that new one's pretty damn funny too. I was pretty impressed, man. I gotta say. Did you watch the new one on Netflix?
No, I watched the first one, and then I'm almost done with the second one. So I'm working my way there.
Cool.
They're good. I like them both.
Big Rod says we need to start a GoFundMe so Fatchy can watch Die. We buy Matt Fatchy.
It's almost. I'm saving it for Christmas now.
Guys, for only 10 cents a day, you could help a grown man watch a movie from the 80s. Raymond says start Lethal, bench Die Hard, cut Rocky. Yeah, right there with me. All right. Zodiac, start Lethal Weapon, bench Die Hard, cut Rocky. Yep. Oh, Ashton starts Die Hard, benches Lethal Weapon, cuts. Man, Rocky 4 is just getting eviscerated here. Yeah. Blu-ray. I love Rocky 4, but if I cut Rocky 4, I still have 1, 2, and 3, but not within the confines of the start bench cut.
True.
Die Hard is a must-see. Yeah, it's great. It's really fun. Like, it is really fun. Let's not overhype. Let's not long legs Die Hard for Fatchy, though.
I'll go see it and be like, I was dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Like, I think Die Hard's really fun, but it's not, I mean, come on. People act like it's the greatest movie ever, and I just don't know about that. Mud Nelson Gavin says Battle of the Threequels, Child's Play 3, Hellraiser 3, and TCM 3. I love all of these movies, so be nice.
The order they're in.
All right. It's
so easy. It's making it easy.
I've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Boring.
I've seen most of those movies. Next Generation was part 4, right? Was that the 4th one?
Yeah. Yep.
So I think I've seen all of them except for like a couple of the newer ones, and then 3. I don't know why. I mean, I think Viggo Mortensen's great. I really like Ken Foree. I should watch it, but I've heard that, like what you said, Matt. I've heard it's boring. I didn't like it. I would say Hellraiser 3 was like kind of. It definitely surpassed my expectations. But recently I watched Child's Play 3 in preparation for a Chucky franchise ranking that I'm putting together, and I had a fun time watching Child's Play 3. So just based on memory, I'll roll with you, Matt. Start Child's Play 3, bench Hellraiser 3, and cut TCM 3. And let's see if the chat's losing it on Are they still talking about Die Hard?
No, we're moved on.
Herbert says that is the best 80s action movie. I think that RoboCop is better, but I hear
Terminator.
Oh, the Terminator's amazing. Yeah, I think the Terminator, the first movie, is the best one in the franchise. Terminator 2 is just a remake, pretty much. Brooke would start Child's Play 3, bench Hellraiser, and cut TCM 3 right there with us. Yep. Start Child's Play 3, bench TCM 3, cut Hellraiser 3. Not into the Cenobite that throws CDs at people.
He's a good one.
That's the one, right? Hellraiser 3, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'd start Child's Play 3, bench Hellraiser 3, cut TCM. All right, there we go. Start Hellraiser, bench TCM, cut Child's Play. Ooh. How about that scene, though, in Child's Play 3 where they start using the live ammo, where he puts the live ammo in the guns? That's just brutal, man. Brutal. Yeah, Medley Man right there with you. Start Child's Play 3, bench Hellraiser 3, cut TCM. And Gavin says it's not boring if you have taste. That's how I imagine, Gavin. I don't know if that's how you say it, but taste. Rosie's like, no fucking comment. Just leave me alone about this.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a stark contrast between the quality. Yep. Yeah, I think the first two are the best two, I think, for sure. Holy cow. And we've got Lamontre in the chat. Usually I see Lamontre's chat before we go live. Great to see you in the live chat, Lamontre. Hope you're doing great, my guy. And here we go. On to the next. We've got, this is kind of fun, like video game categories from Medley Man. So platformers, shooters, and fighters, start, bench, cut.
I'm not a big video game guy.
I'm going to do it in the order that you put it in there, Medley Man, because platformers can be like, there can be so much variety in platformers based on like, you know, the physics and the like power-ups that you can get. Shooters are really fun, but they're all kind of like, you know, you play them for a while. When's the next time you actually go back? Like, you know, I love Galaga and all that kind of stuff, but how often do I play it? And then fighters, kind of the same thing too. It's like, it's fun to play Mortal Kombat for a while. And then at some point you're like, all right, this is the same thing over and over again. You don't even play like modern games with your kids or anything like that, Matt?
I can't even answer the question.
Did you grow up with any systems, or you like a Nintendo 64 kid?
I had Sega. I had Sega Genesis, and then I had PlayStation, and then I had PS2, PS3, and now we have PS4. I didn't get a PS5 because they cost too much money and I ain't paying for it.
Sure.
But you know, my kids will break it, so it's not even worth trying to get.
You gotta take out a second mortgage for the thing. It's just ridiculous.
No, I'm not doing that. I mean, I play Madden, but that's pretty much about it.
So platformers, shooters, and fighters, you don't have like a, you know, you didn't like
Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat.
Were you like a Sonic guy, or like more of a, you know, like what playing platformers?
I did love Sonic back in the day. And then back in the day, I loved Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but I don't know if most people know what that game is.
That game's really fun. Yeah, that's like a Lucasfilm game, I think.
I bought it for PS4 and I tried to play it to see if it would have the same magic, but it just didn't.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting with video games. I sort of use them as like a healthy escape. Like it makes me feel like a kid again, but very rarely do I find myself with like the time to sit down and play. But, you know, I grew up playing Atari and Nintendo and Sega, all that kind of stuff. All right. Well, Medley Man, we tried, but we just got to send. Okay. So now we know GoFundMe is going to buy Facci a 4K of Die Hard, and then we're going to get him a Switch, and we're going to load up a bunch of old school games. And then we're going to get somebody to cover his shift so he can play those games and answer Medley Man.
All day.
Fair? All right.
Fair.
Gavin says underrated 80s bangers. The Stepfather, My Bloody Valentine, and Dressed to Kill. I've never seen The Stepfather. I need to see The Stepfather.
I've never seen Dressed to Kill.
It's really good. I would start Dressed to Kill. I would bench My Bloody Valentine, which I still really enjoy, Gavin. Don't call the cops. And I would cut The Stepfather just because I haven't seen it. So maybe after I've seen it, I'll feel differently.
Start My Bloody Valentine, bench The Stepfather, cut Dressed to Kill because I haven't seen it.
Yeah. If I don't know if you're a Hitchcock fan or, you know, even Hitchcock or even like Giallo, I would say Dressed to Kill is like
close to that.
You know, Brian De Palma, like he has a few films that he really hits that Hitchcockian kind of feel, like that unsettling. It's more like a thriller with horror elements. And in Dressed to Kill, there's like this mystery going on. A lot of the kills, you get like the black gloves, the close-ups on the hands and stuff. So that's where like the Giallo kind of influence comes in. I think Dressed to Kill is like, I've only seen it once, but it left an impression. Like, I mean, I've seen My Bloody Valentine a handful of times. I would still pick Dressed to Kill over that one. Yeah, that is a banger. Those are, I need to watch The Stepfather though, because maybe that one is a banger as well.
It's good.
And then we've got Tyler's throwing at us Gateway Horror, Gremlins, Monster Squad, Ernest, Scared, Stupid.
Damn it.
All right. It's like picking between your kids, you know. It's like, what do I do? You know.
Fuck.
But we need to do mouth sounds.
I love Monster Squad
Here
so
we go.
much.
Yeah.
I love Ernest Scared Stupid too. I gotta go. As much as I love Monster Squad, I gotta go start Ernest Scared Stupid. I gotta and
Mm.
bench Monster Squad and cut Gremlins.
Whoa.
I don't. I'm not.
Whoa. I gotta.
I'm not a huge. I'm not a huge Gremlins fan, to be honest.
Oh my God. I gotta jump back into the chat because it's gotta be freaking out. You know,
Ernest Scared
never.
Stupid is my jam. I'm sorry, is my jam.
Man, it's been. I probably haven't seen Ernest Scared Stupid since I was like 12. Since it came out,
I rented it a shit ton.
Yeah, I probably rented it for a couple years, but it came out right at that time in my life where I was starting to get a little too old, you know, for not the earlier Ernest movies, I think kind of are a little bit more lasting, whereas Scared Stupid to me really felt like a little kid movie, you know? But yeah, I mean, Ernest Scared Stupid, it's good fun. Yeah, I mean, that's you'd start Ernest Scared Stupid. I'm still trying to come to terms with it. Okay. Not since the Die Hard revelation 10 minutes ago has the foundation of our country been so shook. I would say I'm gonna start Monster Squad. I'm gonna bench Gremlins, and I'll cut Ernest Scared Stupid.
It's okay.
I'm gonna break everyone's heart here.
It's all good. No, everyone's cutting Ernest probably anyway.
I need to watch it again though, because who knows how I would feel. It's seriously been like, I mean, when did that movie come out? Like early to mid 90s, 94, 95. Yeah. I mean, you know, it must like, so I was just at that age, like 12 or something like that when it came out, you know,
1991.
91. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, I need to watch it again. I probably haven't seen it since 92 or 93. We got Frank's media and reviews in the chat. What's happening, Frank? Great to see you. We're going to bring Frank on Late Night with the Davy here in a couple weeks. Really looking forward to that. I'm like, I could keep up with the chat, or we can keep rolling with the you guys are great though. This is amazing. Cut Gremlins, Christmas movies. Blu-ray says, I like Monster Squad, only seen it once. I rented. That's one of the ones, like you said, Matt, that you had rented Ernest Scared Stupid all the time as a kid. I rented the Monster Squad. Yeah, like at least once a year I'm renting the Monster Squad in the 80s and early 90s. Brooke says, start Gremlins, bench Monster Squad, cut Ernest. All right, a little bit of a mix of our two. All right, let's jump into our next one here. Blu-ray Addict has got Psycho 7 and Silence of the Lambs. This is a bona fide, really good one, Blu-ray Addict. This is a great one.
So either way,
didn't put it in the order.
Either way, this is one will piss somebody off. Pretty much. Start Silence of the Lambs. Bench 7, cut Psycho.
All right. I'm gonna start 7. I'm gonna bench Silence of the Lambs, and I'm gonna cut Psycho.
Okay.
I think like nothing wrong with Psycho. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I think like almost every other Hitchcock movie I've seen is better than Psycho. Psycho to me just has a little bit of an identity crisis, kind of. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
The other two are just a little bit more enticing to me than Psycho, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like 7, I watched 7 in the theater when I was in like early high school. It was like one of our friends' moms vouched for all of us like 14-year-olds to go watch this movie. And it was a pretty memorable experience, to say the least, like being a kid basically and seeing 7 in the theater. And then Silence of the Lambs, I didn't see it until maybe 15, 20 years ago. So it won Best Picture, all that kind of stuff. And I just hadn't seen it until I was a grown-ass adult.
Me either.
Tyler's right there with me here. Medley Man says, start Silence of the Lambs, bench 7, cut Psycho. He's right there with you. Blu-ray would start 7, bench Signs of the Lambs, and cut Psycho. Okay. Yeah, they're all really good movies for sure. Yeah, not trying to talk shit about Psycho here, but it's like if I have to compare it, yeah. Big Rod says Psycho is just more groundbreaking than the other two. Yeah, it is. I'll give it that, right? I guess just the way that it, had I seen it in 1960, maybe I'd feel different,
Yeah.
And then here we go. Medley Man says, you clearly have not seen The Birds Part 2, Davey. Is that called Land's End? I think it's called Land's End. I don't like the first Birds movie. I would say that Psycho's way better than The Birds. The Birds is for the birds. Hardly any music, which is a really odd decision for a guy like Hitchcock to hardly have any music. And then here we go. Another category that'll be perfect for you, Facci. Video games Part 2, RPGs, Telltale Story, or party games. Oh my, Telltale Story. I don't even know if I really know what those are. I've like heard the term. I'll say party games, RPGs, Telltale Story, or Telltale Style. And Matt will be like, yes, I'm
gonna go with start party games because it sounds fun.
Yeah, party like Mario Party, all that kind of fun shit.
Yeah, we'll cut all the rest. There you go.
Yeah, RPGs take a long time, right? That's why I like action games with RPG elements, because RPGs are just like you're gonna be, grinding through everything trying to get experience points. And then the lovely Rosie has got start bench cut. Did somebody else suggest this, Rosie, and I totally missed it? Who suggested this one? Who suggested this one? I must have missed it. Somebody claim credit for this one. Raymond's throwing more out there. All right. Well, let's okay. So I don't know who dropped this one in there. Let me know and we'll give you credit. If you had start bench cut, Blair Witch, Cloverfield, or Paranormal Activity, what would you do, Matt?
Start Blair Witch. I don't like the other two movies.
You didn't like Cloverfield at all?
I'm not. Well, I don't really like found footage movies that much at all. Only because they kind of make me sick.
Oh,
not because I think they're bad. They just kind of make me a little sick in the stomach, to be honest. Oh, what's up, Frank? Start Blair Witch. I guess bench Paranormal Activity and cut Cloverfield.
All right. I've not seen any Paranormal Activity movies. I don't know. They just didn't seem interesting to me. I never watched any of them.
I got them, but they don't do it for me.
I'd probably do. I would do Cloverfield, Blair Witch, Paranormal. I think is the way I would go. I like the way the monster looked in Cloverfield, but it's been a while since I've seen it. So maybe I would watch it and be like, ooh. Maybe I'd be like Frank and go to bed early.
10 Cloverfield Lane is good.
And and I haven't seen any of the in-universe sequels either. So I haven't even seen that one, but I've heard great things about that. Yeah. This is a good one, Raymond. So this will be our last one of the night. And then please, if you have any more, once we're done with the stream, jump into the comments, drop those in the comments. Raymond, you've got some winners. So I know you've got gold that you're holding on to. Drop those in the comments so we can bring them into the next episode here in late August. But start bench cut, Con Air, The Rock, and Face Off. Just we're in the middle of a Cage-assance, it's great to go back and look at some Nicolas Cage films here.
I was watching Arcadian last night. Speaking of Nicolas Cage.
He's amazing. God bless him.
Wasn't as good as Long Legs, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's the one that looks like it's kind of like The Village.
Yeah, The Village mixed with Quiet Place. It was not doing it for me.
Gotcha.
Since I've only seen one of these movies,
it makes it easy.
We're gonna go start Face Off and then cut the other two. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. So that's it.
Yeah, Face Off. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go start Face Off, bench The Rock, and cut Con Air.
Not my kind of movies.
I'm gonna roll with that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest action movie guy either. A lot of these movies, I saw just when I was younger. My parents rented them or whatever. I think I saw Face Off in the theater. because my brother and I were like, dude, this looks so ridiculous. Like a John Woo, I think it's John Woo, right? John Woo American film with these two guys. And it was at that point in their career where they were both like hamming it up in this movie. Like they are so over the top. I could eat a peach for hours. Or whatever Nicolas Cage says. You guys notice that everything that Nicolas Cage says, it's like he's out of breath, like he just ran a mile.
I love Nicolas Cage so much.
I'm Ghost Rider. You know, it's just like everything he says.
He just
he's great though.
Over the top. It's the best.
I mean, the cool thing about Nicolas Cage is you're going to get a little bit of everything. And so I love that about him, that he doesn't really hold back, you know?
No.
Yeah.
When
love that about him.
In Long Legs, when he was like yelling in the car, that just reminded me whenever he was in Kick-Ass, when he was on fire. I don't know why. Yeah. That's just what it reminded me of.
Yeah. No, man, he's got some really dynamic moments there in Long Legs. That must have been really fun for a guy that has had a career like him, you know, to be able to jump into a movie like Long Legs, hardly be recognizable because he's such a recognizable guy, his voice and his face. So even like his voice is a little bit different because of everything that they have all over him. Yeah. I can't wait to see, like, I've been thinking about that movie. It's like an earworm, like the way a song gets stuck in your head. Like Long Legs is like stuck in my head. I need to watch it again, especially after you know how it all shakes out, just to be able to like see what you missed. And, you know, driving home from it, I told Kate, I was like, I don't know if I need that in the collection, but I really loved it. And then she was like, I don't know if I ever need to see it again. We both like the next night, she was like, you know, I feel differently. I kind of want to see it again. And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to like pause and like see all the stuff, because they've talked about all these images that you sort of miss that are snuck into the background. I don't want to say anything just in case folks in the chat haven't seen it yet, but yeah, we got Blu-ray says start Con Air, bench The Rock, never seen Face Off. Tyler would start Con Air, bench Face Off, cut The Rock. All right. Frank says, hey, it's not a viable option here, Frank, but that's okay. I'm just joking. We love Frank. We love Frank so much. What Frank and Darren do over there at the Slaughtered Lamb, I imagine all of you guys are subbed over there, but by chance, if you're not, you got to go give them a shot.
Hit it up.
Really love what they do over there. They've got, you know, a unique way of approaching like essentially a review format from a different angle. And I really like, of course, you know, Frank's I feel like a little bit more like Frank, where it's like the dirty thoughts just spill out of the mouth. And then Darren's there to be, he's there to be the stuffed shirted British man that keeps everyone in order.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Big Rod would start Face Off, bench The Rock, and cut Con Air, but all three are bangers. Oh, yeah. Gavin says Face Off is the shit. One of Cage's best performances. Yeah. I'm going to take his face off. Yeah, it's amazing. You know how I knew it was a John Woo movie is because somebody busts the doors open to a church and a bunch of doves fly everywhere. I knew it was John Woo because that's the one thing that you're gonna get in like every John Woo movie.
That's it.
Hell yeah. Avery says Nick Cage is such an interesting. He does, yes. Yeah, like I was saying, he's all over the place. The guy knows no bounds. You guys have been amazing in the chat here. Nick Cage in Long Legs equals Mickey.
I didn't think about that.
Hey.
You're not wrong.
And who's the other, like Frank? I this might be like a little bit before our time, but what's her name? Is it Charo? Was she like in the 70s, like a pop icon celebrity? She's got that kind of face too, you know, where it's like, what the hell happened here?
You're right.
It's amazing. Who has the better face? Nick Cage in Long Legs or Jason at the end of Takes Manhattan?
The toxic clay face.
Oh my god, it's so bad. It is so bad. Did they hire like middle school kids to make that?
That was just fucking clay, baby.
That seems like a class project.
That looks really good, Jesse. That looks really good.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Bang up job on Takes Manhattan.
Thank you.
Herbert says Nicolas Cage ate a real cockroach for the film Kiss of a Vampire.
Ew.
That's hardcore. Yeah.
Good.
Joan Rivers' face. That's valid as well. Well, we've been at it for about a half hour or hour and a half hour. Yes, a half hour past an hour. You guys have been great. This has been really fun. We still have 19 people hanging out. We've gone through our rounds of start, bench, cut. We took on a handful or two of those that you guys threw out in the chat. And we're just about to wrap this one up here. I know it's a little late where Matt is out there in good old PA. We do have Chris Snyder jumping in. Great to see you, Chris. Really looking forward to what you're working on over there at Movie Misfits. Yeah. Who killed who? If you guys aren't subbed over to Movie Misfits, go give him a sub. I can't wait for Chris to return. And it'll be just like in Face Off. It'll be kicking the doors open of a church and doves flying behind him. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Frank says Ernest goes to sleepaway camp. Ooh, the crossover we didn't know we needed.
Know what I mean,
Vern?
Know what I mean?
Yeah. Frank, how would Ernest react to the reveal in sleepaway camp? Would he be like, hey?
She never knew when to quit.
Guys, if you haven't seen Ernest Saves Christmas, that's a low-key
that's a good one too.
Great Christmas movie. I love that movie. And I'll still say this too. Ernest goes to camp when he sings to his turtle. Is it Tully, the name of the turtle? Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel. Every time he cries to that turtle, I'm just like, oh. No worries, Chris. Yeah, you can always watch back on the replay and drop your suggestions for the next episode in the chat. There you go. Frank agrees. Yeah. Bring me subscribers. He was a legend. Rest in peace, Jim Varney. Loved him so much. He was like the Ace Ventura before we had Ace Ventura. He was just the wild, wacky, skinny guy with tons of energy. I think he has a dog in the later movies, I think, but in Goes to Camp, there's a turtle that he's got.
Yeah, he does have a dog.
Medley Man's going to go play some of your favorite video games. Facci.
Enjoy, Medley Man.
All right, guys. Yeah, this has been really great. Thank you so much, Matt. Really pumped that we could get this first episode. We push on through. Like anything else on YouTube, it's going to probably, become more and more refined as we go along. If you guys have any suggestions or anything that you want to see here on Start Bench Cut, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like. Matt's got this on his channel. I've got it over here on the Davey Deathray channel as well. So throw that love around, and we will put together when our next episode's going to be and let you guys know. Yes, a little love for all y'all. Yeah, Matt. Thank you so much, man. This is
thank you, buddy.
This is what one of the cool things about YouTube is just you never know who you're gonna make buddies with. I certainly didn't expect that jumping into this thing that people would be so welcoming and so friendly. So it's really awesome to make friends with people like you. I feel we were talking before we came in here. I'm like, Matt, I feel like I've known you for so long, and
it hasn't even been that long either. A couple months.
No, it's exactly. Maybe late May, mid-May, something like that when we started chit-chatting just on DMs. And it's just, guys, what it is it's a reminder that, while we may have differences of opinions, whether it's like movies or whatever in our lives, like the common things, the things that we love are going to bring us closer together with people that love those same things too. So I think that's something that should be, cherished and held onto and cultivated. And you guys are a huge part of that in the chat here. I mean, you guys keep it going. You keep us fueled. And we would have zero shows without folks like you. So thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, I've been and will continue to be Davey Deathray. And that's Matt Facci.
We'll see you next time, guys. Movies.
Get him a copy of Die Hard, people. He needs a copy of Die Hard. You guys have been great. We'll see you next time. Have an awesome rest of your night, and be well.
See you guys.